Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup by Smashcast TV. We are match number 2 of the winners brackets finals between Thunder Awaken and Wheel Wreck while whistling. Well, this is a very important matchup as it decides who actually gets to go to the finals for this tournament. And it's Peru versus America once again fighting for your national pride. Everything's on the line. Well, actually not that much because whoever loses goes to loser brackets anyway. But it's going to be a good matchup regardless. And we're of course here in the ProDota Cup American version sponsored by XBet. If you guys want to check out a live betting site that also offers favorable odds, I suggest that you check out XBet. And if you actually go to their website and use the code BOUNTYX, sponsored by ProDota Cup, you get a deposit of 100 euros free. Not entirely sure how that works with other countries, to be honest, with other currencies, but do check it out regardless, as it's still quite a lot of money for betting, right? So, you know, go XBet. Woo. That said, guys, we're about to start game number 2. Here's the draft on screen. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. Hope you enjoy the cast as per usual. Let's see. Thunder Awaken. They pick up a Visage and a Lycan. Well, Wheel Wreck while whistling. We'll pick up that name, man. That name even messes up my pronunciation. They'll grab a Drow Ranger, Weaver, Bat Rider. We've actually seen Wheel do this before. I believe it was actually against Elite Wolves, or I want to say it was against Elite Wolves, and they destroyed them. So let's see if it works in game number 2. And Elite Wolves did the exact same thing. They picked up a Lycan, and yeah, and a Visage. Am I going insane? This is really similar drafts, even though they're different teams. Maybe the pros are seeing the same thing here that I'm not. I mean, Visage is probably, I want to say it's going to play the position 4. We have seen him as a carry though recently, but of course, where would you run Lycan? Maybe mid Visage? That'd be crazy. Stoke is a pretty good Visage if they do want to run him that way. And with a Medallion, he's actually quite effective against most supports that we'll want to run. So you take away that power from them. If you take the supporting cast away, you don't really have any way to help the Drow Ranger. Weaver himself maybe might be played as a support. Actually, that's how they played it last time. And against Weaver is still pretty weak against Visage's burst damage, especially in the early game, because Weaver usually needs fast level 7, and he won't get it if he's a support, for obvious reasons. So Wheel Wreck while whistling. Pick up a Trim Protector the second pick. A bit safer, I suppose. Still low armor and very weak against Visage, but I do understand that kind of idea of he's really good with Drow Ranger. Usually not going to be caught in the team fight, and great counter initiator with that Overgrowth. Of course, against the Lycan, that's quite effective as you want to stop that possible push from Thunder Awaken. Lycan brings the Howl, but the Howl plus the Visage Familiar is not that great. What I'm actually seeing that would be really good for Thunder would be an Invoker. I gotta admit. The Alacrity plus Visage Familiars allow you to do a lot of damage. Nyx Assassin plus Invoker is just absolutely amazing, as they're both run as the position 4, but no, they're gonna run a Storm Spirit. Screw it. Right, Storm is actually quite good against the Drow in general. Gap Closer, similar to Lycan, but less vulnerable to the Gust, simply because you have to wait till the ball line to hit you, so you're gonna take some damage. If Storm goes for an Orchid build, which probably will be the case, he's going to be able to easily stop the Drow Ranger. Could even go for a Yo Scepter, perhaps, if he wants to dispel the silence, if it's becoming really annoying. You can easily kill a Trim Protector, someone who also is vulnerable to the destruction of trees, so that the Storm Spirit plus the Bat Rider can be really brutal. And of course, you'll have the fact that Storm Spirit comes in with the Dust or whatever sentries maybe against the Weaver, and is also able to kill her quickly, forcing the Weaver maybe into a Linken's or something of the sort. So, Thunder Awaken is looking quite nice with their lineup themselves. They have pushing power in Lycan Visage, a bit of ganking power in Storm Spirit, Nyx Assassin. Now pick probably an offlaner that gives you a bit more team fight, so you have that 5 versus 5 engagement. Something along the lines of Legion Commander would have been good, Clockwork as well. They're both banned, obviously. The Earthshaker is still in the pool, and honestly, Earthshaker seems quite fantastic here. Smash plays a pretty decent Earthshaker. I honestly don't see why you wouldn't pick that. Fissure is also fantastic in the early game. So that seems like a just safe pickup. Also gives you a bit of pushing power, the Earthshaker, and works nicely with Howl because of the extra HP is really useful in the early game. You can pick up a... Oh, no, you can't pick up a Night Stalker, never mind. As for Wheel, they're going for a Drow lineup, so the last pick here could have been perfectly Alina. I'm actually kind of thinking of a Wind Ranger would not be a bad idea. Wow, Smash Beastmaster! Okay, that is interesting. That is... I was not expecting that. Wheel Wreck while whistling now have to pick up a 5th pick against this Beastmaster. Right, so you want to go for Queen of Pain. Puck would have been ideal picks for Wheel. Traditional Medusa is also a possibility here. But against Beast, you don't really want to run a Medusa, even if she's a Linken's carrier. They don't have many Diffusal Blade users, though, so Medusa could be a possibility here for I Annihilate. OD comes to mind. You actually have a lot of options. OD, Medusa, the Wind Ranger just because I like it, not particularly because I think it's that great of a pick. Though the Invoker, but Invoker seems quite terrible here compared to other picks that you could run. Viper would also have been quite good, but that's been banned out. What else could Annihilate? I mean, the OD is kind of weak against Beastmaster, which is why you don't really want to run the OD. The Lina would have also been really good against Beastmaster. The Wind Ranger is also weak against Beast. Like, there's just a lot of heroes of these kind of carry-like heroes that you want to combine with Drow Ranger that are particularly weak against someone like Beastmaster. Medusa honestly comes to mind as probably the strongest pick here, and you combine it well with Weaver and Drow Ranger would not be a bad pickup, but Nyx Assassin can really crush you, so there's also that option, right? You don't have Diffusal Blade pickers, but you do have a Nyx Assassin instead, which does essentially the same thing, and you like grabbing stats as Medusa, so I don't know if that's the option. One of the things, and OD again also crushed by Nyx Assassin, actually. Nyx Assassin, I completely forgot about him, so is Wind Ranger, to some degree. What other picks could you have in the mid lane? You want a range pick, right? You do want a range pick to combine with Drow Ranger. NP? And Annihilate MP? You can run Bat Rider in the mid lane, NP off lane, maybe. Well, Bat Rider would definitely win the mid lane against Storm Spirit, to be honest. I know, Wheel does go for weird lineups, so I would not be too surprised. I actually don't know what to say. I actually don't know what they're gonna pick here. It's so like many options in the pool. None is quite ideal. Something. Oh wow! How did I forget about Dragon Knight? Yeah, the semi-ranged hero. Really, really smart pickup actually. Thinking about it, so I don't know why I phased out on this one. So on one hand, you're not weak against Visage's physical damage, neither Lycans nor to some degree Beastmasters, as he gives you a lot of that attack speed. So you tend to use physical damage in general. Especially with the new Beastmaster that plays with Helmet of Dominator and Necronomicons, you do have just mainly physical damage. The Dragon Knight does decently against Storm Spirit, despite being a melee hero, and can usually out-harass the Storm Spirit just using the Dragon's Breath, and of course a couple levels of Dragon's Blood to keep him safe. He's not particularly weak to Nyx Assassin, because he's not vulnerable, low mana cool, no mana spells. With Bottle, you have enough healing to use Dragon's Breath a couple times, and Dragon's Tail as well, and of course the Nyx Assassin doesn't really bother you with either Vendetta or even the stun. He's particularly good with Drow Ranger because he brings pushing power even without her aura, but does benefit from her aura anyway in team fights, and can easily clear lanes for Visage's Familiars, Lycan, and Beastmaster. This is actually a really, really good pick. I gotta admit, I actually really like this. It's a fantastic pick. Good stuff, Wheel. I don't know who to favor. Last time the draft was also quite even. I do like what Wheel is running with the Drow Ranger strat, but it seems a bit dangerous, especially because Thunder really countered that Drow Ranger. I'm a big fan of also Weaver support, though. Weaver support can be so powerful with Dragon Knight. Especially an Armlet Dragon Knight. We'll see. Just for sake of fairness and to get a third game, which I think is what we all want. Kind of want to go with Thunder Awaken's draft. I also do believe in Leo Style Storm as one of his best heroes, together with the Ember. So that ability of execution, you only bring one silence to the mix, and of course Dragon Knight brings the stun, which we completely forgot about. You don't really have many stuns besides the Dragon Knight's Dragon's Tail, the silence, and the gust. I guess a couple roots and Trim Protector, which are okay, but Storm being hit by one of those is a bit hard, especially as the game progresses. And the Bat Rider Lasso, which is again okay, but you don't really. Like, the chance of you being able to target a Storm with a lasso is quite low, as he should be able to ball lightning away most of the time. So we'll see, honestly. We'll see what happens. Let's present the teams real quick. Before we do so, though, allow me to present myself. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your cast for today. Hope you enjoy the cast. It's a pity I have to cast alone. My usual co-caster is not available today. Those of you requesting her, send her love. Follow her on Twitter. And I'll give her a standing ovation. But love within reason, huh, guys? Please don't be creepy. Anyway, let's see what Wheel is running today. Derp on the Trim Protector in the support position. Second support will be Mad Meng on the wheel, on the Weaver, on the wheel. KVH will be playing the Drow Ranger in the carry position. In the mid lane, a Dragon Knight played by Annihilate. And finally, in the off lane, Bat Rider played by Dota the Tomb. As for Thunder Awaken and Lycan, played by Van. Ooh, aggressive Trilane. Seems like who's going to join in this aggressive Trilane? Estok as the Nyx Assassin. And Mystico as the Visage. Leo Style with one of his best heroes as the Storm Spirit. And El Professor, the teacher, Smash as the Beast Master in the off-lane / safe lane position. So he's going to be run against a Bad Rider. Alright. I don't know what to say. That seems a bit dangerous. the Beastmaster against Bat Rider. Early on, you're okay. As the game progresses, you really lose a lot. And this Bat Rider even has the Precision Aura early levels and Fairy Fire on top of that. So you actually get a pretty decent lasting potential against. I mean, not as good as Beastmaster, of course, because he has one of the highest base attack damages in the game, but still pretty high in general. I mean, look at it. He has 66 just base. That's pretty impressive. Okay, go to the 2. Putting a lot of pressure onto this boar, but taking a lot of damage from within. That's why early on you want to kill the boar, but Smash knows exactly how to micro. In the mid lane, they're actually going to Annihilate. There's the Impale, also Static Remnant. Annihilate taking a lot of damage, and will go down to Leo Styles' last attack. With Stalk ensuring this kill happens in the mid lane, and of course M-God Mystical utilizing that Grave Chill efficiently against a melee hero. They want to go for another kill apparently. There's the Grave Chill, his Stalk, a second Impale. It's really easy to land with a Grave Chill. No more Static Remnants though, but he could still use it with the Overload. However, that Dragon's Breath, or Breathe Fire, sorry, makes it so he doesn't have that much damage. Oh, his Stalk hit from behind, bug versus bug action, and he's gonna be fried, much like the Egyptians do with their locusts. This poor Nyx assassin will be turned into a tasty treat by the Breathe Fire from Annihilate, ensuring it's a 1-for-1. However, it is a support for a carry, or for a mid lane, which is not that great. Ban, meanwhile, on the bottom lane has been harassed quite a lot, hasn't been able to take a single last hit from this Drow Ranger because they put so much pressure in this mid lane, and that leads me to question how valuable it is to run a Lycan in that off-lane position. He is not going to do too well against the Bat Rider, of course, but, well, I'm trying to kill onto Derp a bit hard. KVH especially harassing him, doesn't deal too much damage early on. You really require that marksmanship. And the top lane, you also see the Bat Rider harassing Smash considerably, but no actual commitment. No kills under tower, just yet. We'll see boots on KVH early. I like this against melee heroes in general. Be able to kite them much easier. So you might want to go for Wraith Band usually, but this build of a lot of tangles, and boots early is pretty good. Ban, careful. Being hit by the swarm, so they have vision of him. But of course, they won't commit to this too much. He's still a pretty, well, decently tanky hero as a Lycan. Not the worst base armor, even if his agility gain is horrendous. Got a Tau Shield himself. And also now has Feral Impulse. There's the Impale. Just KVH. Mystical comes in. Grave Chill plus that damage from the Soul Assumption. Could finish out this Drow Ranger. But right now, it's a very difficult thing to go against Drow when you have yourself a Twin Protector helping you out with the surprise heals, a Leech Sheet, also a kind of semi-offensive ability because it comes with a slow, and of course Mad Meg any second can swarm you and deal a considerable amount of damage to swarm. It's one of the hardest skills to deal with in the early game when your attack speed is so low as Lycan. So that's another good thing to consider really. Swarm is hard to get off when your attack speed is low, and Lycan particularly pretty low attack speed. Anyway, KVH, a target of aggression, Soul Assumption to almost murder him, Leech Sheet heals him back up, and Ban will lose his life instead as we'll protect their carry and even get a kill to boot. That Weaver dealing so much damage, especially with that usage of the swarm. And with that, sadly but surely, a wheel will start getting a slight advantage in the early game, showing off why they like going for this Drow strat. And oh, observable ward. That's offensive. That's quite offensive. I enjoy. I mean, I don't know. The Sacred Stallion doesn't seem to be working too well for them, to be honest. And now Ban is trying to get a couple last hits here in the jungle, but let's hope the farm and smash is worth it. Going for early Necronomicons, probably early Home of the Dominator, as is usually built on him. Maybe even go for a more carry like Beastmaster. Maybe that's the idea. Ban being more of a buffer with a Howl, similar to how you'd play a Drow Ranger. But you're not putting too much pressure on Drow either in the early game, which you should. Those Maxime Frost Towers were quite a clever choice by KVH, as you don't need to gust early. Soul Assumption finds the Twin Protector stunned out as well. Swarm. Weaver wants to fight this. Derp actually stuns Ban, but Derp will lose his life first. Ban being slow to oblivion with Swarm, dealing way too much damage. A Leech Seed as well helping out, and that Swarm will end up taking his damage down enough. Nope! One Frost Arrow just hit him in the back and through the heart as his Stoke loses his life as well. Well, actually, Spike Carpus? Nah, Spike Carpus only gives a small stun. In the mid lane though, Leostyle suffering against Annihilate's harassment. Might want to even go for the kill. Has the bottle, but with only 2 levels, or with already 2 levels of Dragon's Blood, a bit hard to do that. And as you guys can see for now, it seems like Thunder Awaken not having the easiest of early games. Especially because they're, I mean, just losing this tri lane in the bottom lane. The mid lane is going decently for them, but Leostyle is still losing against Dragon Knight, which is not unexpected considering the build he went for, which is more of a lane domination build. You know, getting a couple levels in Dragons and Breathe Fire early on, as opposed to maxing Dragon's Blood. Because you know you're not being ganked too often, so you can go for these kind of builds, which deal more damage and are much more annoying at preventing last hits. You also, I mean, the only lane you're really winning is, I know, not really, Smash is not even winning his lane, so you're gonna rely on this mid lane to work out. And the worst thing about it is that, how this lanes are going, is that your supports are actually staying in lane so often that, because they need to help the Lycan, of course, in this aggressive tri lane, that you're not only not able to rotate and help your Storm mid, but you're also not able to get stacks up for it, which is also a big deal. Storm is so close to ball lightning, but might just die to ban or to annihilate before this happens. There's a damage from the Corrosive Breath, and one last orb will finish off the Storm. Unfortunately, nothing much you could do but just simply walk away and hope that he didn't die. And oh, that has really screwed him. Smash and Mystico now coming in with a smoke themselves. And oh, let's see. Smash as the Arcane Rune. The use of the Hawk to get a bit of vision. Should see Derp. No, the Sentry actually blocks this. Takes away all the trees. Pretty clever. There's a Primal Roar. And poor Derp without trees. Where is he going to hide? Nowhere but the Graveyard as he loses his life to smash his damage. This rotation trying to help out this bottom lane, which will allow Van to actually rotate top and try to fight against a Batrider alone. No, actually, should be able to still do decently if Nyx Assassin goes with him. You know, get the Spike Carpus up. It's really hard to actually harass you with Spike Carpus. And also the Howl to prevent some of the damage. I think they can do it if they just rotate lanes finally. Ban, okay, he's just been given some space and they're gonna let him stay in this bottom lane. These guys are stubborn. They're sticking with their strategy, even if it originally didn't really work out. Drow Ranger herself has decided to go top lane, so now they've actually forced a rotation exactly like they wanted. And KVH will now take a bit of an advantage in this top lane being alone. Derp himself stays in bottom, while Batrider takes advantage of some stacks he got in the jungle, or not even. I think it was stacks. I gotta admit, it seemed like stacks to get those drums early on. Chinese Batrider is the style, apparently. Now, what Wheel is doing pretty cleverly here is they're taking a lot of farm out of the precious cores in the enemy team. And I'm probably going to force a couple team fights with the Drow Ranger being a pretty low maintenance scare. Trying to take Annihilate's also cheap build up with only the armlet to their advantage. And of course taking advantage of the fact that you have a Drums Batrider, which excels at small skirmishes, but is not that great at, again, you know, formal initiations per se, because you do miss that Blink Dagger. But small skirmishes definitely benefit this Batrider. They should be able to get kills once he hits that Drums and maybe starts being aggressive, really. I mean, he has Lasso already. Ban is only level 4, Batrider is level 8, doubled in levels. This is certainly an easy kill, but they've done a really good job of making sure that these trees don't stay up, meaning that the ability to gank this Lycan is quite low, because you can't really use the trees for coverage. Now, Leostyle goes in, uses the Soul Ring, okay, Dragon Tail to finish him off, a Smash comes in with a Final Roar, and Annihilate hit so hard, he's gonna be extinct. Poor Dragon becoming a mythological creature again, as Thunder Awaken screams in his ear and finishes him off. Well, with that, seems like at least Thunder Awaken recover ever so slightly with a slight gank. Yeah, they're still losing in terms of net worth, but it's a beginning for them to get that kill onto the Dragon Knight, or allow the Storm to go into the jungle a bit more, maybe get up some of his own stacks that he couldn't have any. That Soul Ring also will help him farm pretty soon. Interesting is how to go for Treads. He valued his survivability over the potential early Bloodstone, thinking that it's probably going to go into late game. That's where they're going to try to take it. As you have a pretty decent late game compared to the enemy team, it's kind of even, honestly. Lycan, no Shapeshift, still level 5. Flame Break doesn't hit him, actually. TP away. Lasso will cancel his TP, and poor Ban sees his whole life flash before his eyes, and he's cooked to 180 degrees Celsius, mind you, and destroyed entirely. Now in comes Leostyle in this mid lane. No, just came in with a ball lightning. Maybe to deal some damage to Annihilate. I don't really understand the point. He taunts. That's good. Adding some psychological damage, of course, to Annihilate as he just gets frustrated with this play. And he just goes for the rune instead. The rune's gonna appear in 2 seconds. Funny if there's no rune. Oh, there's the Invis. Leostyle should take it. Annihilate. Now being put in a bad position. Impale won't come in time. Primal Roar's available. Screamed in the ear. Dragon Knight losing everything here. And with a gust, maybe saving his life. Annihilate, healing up as best he can. But no, he's gonna be brought down by one last mana burn that is gonna end him. And that way, the guys from Thunder Awaken will be able to take another kill yet again against this Dragon Knight. Really important being able to keep up that farm, especially now that Leostyle is recovering with these kind of engagements, right? It's better than trying to go jungle and trying to recover that way. You can just kill the Dragon Knight multiple times. You even forced a rotation from KVH, not the fastest farmer in the world, and you actually forced him to go mid just to gust, which did absolutely nothing. Good gust though, good idea, but you know, can't really do much after that. You're just a Drow Ranger, really. You're not supposed to be a defensive hero. Right, Terp in the mid lane. What is he doing? Tell me they have some sort of way of punishing him. The Impale. No, he's just gonna go invisible. He's gonna be perfectly fine. Even maxed that in Nature's Skies. Wow, maxed Nature's Skies over living armor. We have seen some Trim Protectors playing a bit more of what you would call, say, PPD Trim Protector, a more aggressive way of playing him rather than the traditional just max living armor and try to get a lot of that. I mean, when the new Nature's Skies came out, there's been a lot of, you know, different builds for him. But anyway, Overgrowth finds a Lycan. Top lane, they're actually going on to... Nah, this Lycan's more important. Bot actually fights back. Kills the Trim Protector. And now the Spike Carp is stopping the Bat Rider. Here's the Gust. Silences the Lycan. No shapeshift for him. Still has the Magic Stick. Try to cure himself up. But this gonna be dog for dinner. As a wheel. We'll also get a kill on the top lane. Getting a Visage down. Seems like right now for the guys at Thunder Awaken, they're not stopping their aggression, but they are losing Bind quite a lot. And Stock finds KVH, takes away that marksmanship. KVH should know there's someone around. Smash has Primal Roar, really good gust, stopping the Primal Roar, but Impale will stop him anyway. And the Primal Roar is finally available. Not even going to be committed. KVH gives up on his life, and Smash gets that final kill. That's such an issue changing between English and Spanish. I'm sorry, guys. With this, Necronomicon level 2 is available for Smash, and that's an important pickup. You know, giving you a bit more pushing power and definitely a way to destroy this Drow Ranger, especially against Dragon Knight. Burning his mana early on is a pretty big deal. That's important. Early on, later on, he gets enough levels to sustain this. He doesn't even have his armlet yet, so they've been punishing him enough so that his armlet can't come easily. And again, you force a low GPM game against heroes that really want their core items, whereas your heroes are getting a pretty quick core. Alright, let's see. Leostyle joins in, wants to go Annihilate. There's Electric Vortex being saved. But, ooh, the double stun. The Lycan ready. Shapeshift into a wolf. And they want to go into the other two instead. They stun him out with Spike Harpist. Destroyed already. And they only get one kill in this engagement, deciding it's better to back off than to try for more and lose this advantage they're getting now. The 1k is unmovable. That number is set in stone. But for now, Thunder Awaken recovering best they can onto their carry especially. And of course, letting Storm get that farm a bit, well, not early, but at a decent timing with those stacks as well to recover when they're not fighting. Now, Necronomicon going to be available for Smash very, very soon. At level 3, I mean. Already it's Necronomicon, but he's waiting for that level 3. It's so important. That item, if you get it before minute 20, is useful. If you get it before minute 15, it's ridiculous. Especially on a Beastmaster, probably the best user of it. And I'm glad Smash decided to go for the old build, per se, of Beastmaster. A lot of Beastmasters decided for the Helm of the Dominator first, then Necronomicon, and even Drums, we've seen like more of a utility Beastmaster. And Smash is like, screw it, why? I'm the best Beastmaster in the world, and he is one of them, if not the best. Honestly, he's up there with Fata as one of the best Beastmasters in the world, and he's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he can play with Necronomicon because he has really good positioning skills and always understands how to gank proactively. But we'll talk about that later. Annihilate being harassed now as his Toke is in vision. There's a really good ward here. Why would you need to go in? As Visage is already dead. Mystico using the last soul assumption to try to kill the Bat Rider. Overgrowth comes in. Bat Rider's already dead. Nyx Assassin, how will you survive? He won't. That's the trick to dying. And Leostyle will be able to ball lining himself to safety. However, those familiars will go down thanks to the damage from the Swarm. Ensuring that... well, at least they get a bit of extra gold from that. Oh, no, they're going to catch up. Maddening. They're Primal Roar to prevent the regen room from being taken. This bug is going to be exterminated. And Leostyle wants to find Annihilate. All his mana is gone. He still has the armlet. Leostyle with a regen can actually just go in. There's the damage. Electric Vortex also committed. No more regen rune for Leostyle, but he can he can still kill this dragon. Destroyed. There he goes. Derp. Only man left alive, but all the trees are gone. And with deforestation comes your eventual resignation, Mr. Trim Protector, as he loses his life to the damage from Thunder Awaken. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, the objective is to go for KVH. Estok has an Impale. It's going to commit to this because behind is... Why? I thought for a second that was Storm TPing in with full mana, but that's a Beastmaster with a Primal Roar or Necronomicon, so I don't see the point of that. But hey, at least you dealt a bit of damage, and you're like, Darranger's now forever scared of being touched in that mid lane. You don't really want to go in the places where you've been attacked before, right? Just common sense, I suppose. There's a lot of reasons why you would do that. Mainly, also, not you waste your Vendetta because it was going to go off anyway. Might as well take advantage of it. In goes Weir, Mad Ming finding Leo style. There's the flame break. Leo style pushed away. Ball lightning. Oh, saving his life there. One last ball lightning. No even need for the soul ring. He's gonna get a decently timed bloodstone, honestly, for going for the treads build. Usually treads build is what, 17 minutes bloodstone, and you've already lost your lane anyway, so he's gonna get it what? We could presume 18 minutes in max. Does want a whole minute to farm it. Right now he's playing quite aggressively though, instead of trying to farm it, which would be the ideal thing to do. Okay, smash Necronomicon preemptively. Well, might work out. Send him out. And Lycan, shapeshift. Everyone's preparing. There's the Weaver being brought down. Madmang. Oh, Bud actually walking in, trying to find the Weaver, and they will kill both of them. No, Madmang surviving just barely. Is the Timeless available? He is not. He used it just that second, sorry. And with that, they're going to kill two really soon. Thunder Awaken, by the way, I want to mention this. It's the Necronomicon build. It's the Necronomicon build. I don't understand. If you guys are fans of Thunder Awaken, you understand why I'm so excited for this. A long time ago, when this team was not banned, and when not banned, and it was the new Elite Wolves. Everyone was so excited. I don't actually remember who they were playing. It's irrelevant who they were playing. Elite Wolves was playing, you know, back when they were pretty good and were classifying the tournaments. They were playing a pretty good game, but they still lost the mid and late game, and actually had a hard time like closing in the game. And they had specifically a Beastmaster, and I believe actually maybe it was a Lycan as well with some other two heroes. And they bought 4 Necronomicons, which they TP'd to eventually take down the throne. And this seems to be the game as well, where we're seeing at least 2 Necronomicons. There's going to be a surplus of units combined with a Howl. I love these cheese strats. These make me love Dota even more. Why would you not play these kind of games, you know? It's just, if it works for you, then fantastic. And you already have a cheese strat on wheel with a Drow Ranger, so you go for your own cheese strat of just full Necronomicons. I mean, what's really going to stop you? They don't have that much lane clear. It's really only Dragon Knight, and Dragon Knight can only clear so many Necronomicons before dying himself, right? So, take advantage of that. I'm also a big fan of Necronomicon and Lycan in general, because your Necronomicon creeps get crit, and you still get the aura from the Beastmaster, of course, so that really, well, your shapeshifted they get crit, so that's why it's so useful. Anyway, then they go, Primal Roar, find a tree, there's the ball lightning, they wanted to cut them down, and they will do so. Bad Rider, no lasso for you, as they kill him way too quickly, he's gonna go down as well, and a wheel, now trying to run away, it's the Nyx Assassin being stunned out, they find the Drow Ranger, KVH will be able to run out, no he won't, as they stop the Dragon Knight, and they're actually going on to 2, don't split away, you had both of them in your grasp, and they're gonna go for the Dragon Knight instead. Ball lightning, easy job, and with Smash slowing him down, at least kill Madmang with the dust committed. No mana for time lapse, but not committing to the skill entirely. Seems like at least they defend the Roshan, and Madmang going up for those creeps. Estok still wants to get the skill with Vendetta plus Impale should be available, or should be possible, honestly. Madmang. Oh, there's a shrine. Estok can't get that kill. And they smoke right under Estok. He actually broke the smoke. This little Nyx is being so annoying. There's the Gus. They try to kill Beastmaster. He's been silenced for a long time, but a beautiful Impale onto 3 saves him. And now he'll still lose his life. And they won't be able to take the Roshan as Dota the 2 snatches it off. Wheel just taking this Roshan, or taking the Aegis last second. It's actually Thunder Awaken who's able to bring it down, but Wheel are able to snatch it with a great blink by the Bat Rider. Oh, really risky play there by Thunder, and as a result they got punished. I mean, they definitely deserved that. That was just a weird engagement, honestly. Mystico finds Derp Overgrowth just to kill Mystico, and it seems like this man doesn't want to live anymore. Actually, no, he's going to fight again. Ball lightning from downtown. Leostal comes in, destroys Derp first. Maddening is going to be annihilated by the damage from Thunder Awaken. And that's 2 dead already for Wheel, but they lose Mystico in the process. However, a gank where Mystico does not die is a bad one. This man is made to die, you know. He has that blood in him, space created no matter what. Even if it's a team fight where it's 5-on-5, this man's gotta die. You give the enemy team a little bit of extra farm, and then you yourself, you know, collect it later. It's like Mystical is like an investment banker, you know. He gives the enemy team farm and farm and farm. Eventually, the interest grows and grows and grows, and then you collect it all at once, like the Reaper that he is. Now, Necronomicon level 3 available on Ban. This is going to start hurting with a second boar also on Smash. This is lovely. This amazing creep strategy might work. And KVH, you might want to consider an Aghanim's Maelstrom build for you, as Drow Ranger usually doesn't have the best way. Yep, thank you. Actually, I got tweeted for this, yeah. Thank you for remembering that game. Old Elite Wolves, really, really good early game understanding. And it's just wonderful that we're going to get to see something similar to that again, to that game I was talking about earlier. It's a weird excitement that I'm getting because I remember that I was casting that match in Spanish specifically, and it was I could not believe what was happening. Anyway, Necronomicon available on level 3, available onto this Beastmaster. That's fantastic. The Storm himself, I'm going for the Bloodstone, probably Orchid next, which would be ideal, honestly, to stop the Dragon Knight and Pat Rider from initiating. It's very important when the enemy team has stuns. Like essentially the only person with a consistent stun or reliable stun is really that Dragon Knight, because the lasso is a really long cooldown stun, so you can try punishing them that. Anyway, Thunder Awaken, decide to go for the tower in the bottom lane. Annihilate, a lot of pushing power, of course, the help of KVH. He even used the aura onto the catapult to get extra damage. Glyph already committed. Seems like Leo Style wants to defend this from behind. It's a little wraparound. All the creeps coming out. Surprise! It's an army! Lasso, though, finds them. They were under a ward, and they can actually stop the Lycan with the Gust. He can't shapeshift away. Dota the 2 will sacrifice his life, but he had the Aegis anyway. Brahma roar to stop this Dragon Knight, and they kill the Weaver meanwhile. But, of course, Bat Rider comes back in, tries to help. Derp is almost dead. Soul Assumption to finish him off. Annihilate is now the target, and they can find this Dragon Knight with the vision of the familiars. He can't juke in the trees. Leo Style's committing to this kill. Actually, KVH will be able to TP in time, but Annihilate may not be so lucky, going down to the damage of Thunder Awaken. And with a wraparound, yes, they lose a Lycan, but in exchange they get a triple kill, well, 3 kills rather, and one of them is on the enemy mid, again stopping Annihilate from possibly snowballing out of control. They still force a TP from the Drow Ranger anyway. You're gonna have to question, do you want to go for the Aghanim's build? Is it Aghanim's Maelstrom? We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Maybe going for the... Also, you took the Aegis down, which I guess is not bad, considering the... No, it was going to be reclaimed in a minute anyway. You had to kill the Bad Rider to stop his Firefly. That's an important factor, which I wasn't really considering in the middle of the team fight. You only took the Aegis down, but that's not that big a deal. But, well, we'll see. It's okay. Like, in terms of how useful that was, it's alright. But in terms of... Like, did you really care about taking the Aegis? Yeah, okay. But in terms of the team fight, it probably helped you a lot to be able to take that Firefly down, because they deals a lot of damage now early in the game. It's still minute 22. You still have pretty low HP in general. Now Derp. They see him. Yep, they do. There's a sentry there. So, time for Derp to lose all his leaves. It's fall again. Because he's fallen, of course. Anyway, Leo Style is going to be taking the tower in the bottom lane. And tier 2. That goes to the Storm Spirit. And the objective is now to go on to KVH, probably. I mean, the wolves are giving vision on them. Or, sorry, not the wolves, the boars. I have animal dyslexia. And Smash just walks up to him, says, "Can I primal roar you, please?" But won't be able to get the scream out in time, unfortunately. Walking up to someone, maybe not the best of ideas, especially if you have Blink Dagger. I don't really understand that. See, Madman, top lane. Oh, Ball Lightning, we'll find him. There's no need for the primal. Oh, well, they use it anyway. They could have just Electric Vortex him, but anyway. They killed him with Primal Roar as well. It's a pretty low cooldown spell. Even got Vlads, actually. I like the Vlads and the Aura pickups when you're running a creep strategy, essentially. And now Derped up again. Found out they have the Necronomicon vision anyway. And the Familiars are not going to let him get away. He's close to trees, finally lost that invisibility. And Derp slow to oblivion. And now sent to the graveyard. Oh, they're trolling him! Oh, no, they're actually not trolling him. Sorry, that was my bad. They actually wanted to give the charge to Leo Style. That's why they stopped him for so long. Very clever play. So used to Peruvian Dota, you expect just a bit of trolling, but... Or a bit like just playing around with the enemy, but that was just a really clever play to get a bit of a or more charges onto the Storm Spirit. After all, a kill on Trim Protector, not that big a deal. A kill with the Storm Spirit, pretty important. I can already imagine. Espera! Carga, carga! Anyway, there's a lasso. Find the Nyx Assassin, stunned out, and cooked up. Nyx Assassin will lose his life again to Wheel. Again, no, not that big a deal, because it's still just a Nyx Assassin, similar to a Trim Protector kill, but it is still a kill regardless. And stopping a bit of the scoutings from Nyx is important. BKB will be the next item on Leo Style. I would not mind seeing a Lincoln Sphere as opposed to BKB, but I guess BKB also dispels the Gust Silence, which is quite important, and would stop the Dragon Tail. I don't know, there's a trifecta of items in here, Yule Scepter and I mean, it can dispel the roots, of course, but it seems like Yule Scepter Lincolns might be a bit better this game. However, that would be a lot of investment into defensive items, which you might not need this game, as you do have a lot of help from your team anyway. Okay, let's talk. Next assassin. Join in. Has Vendetta. Objective is Madman. Little Nyx. Not gonna find Madman just yet. In fact, they know there's a Dragon Knight, or a Bat Rider. What am I saying? A Bat Rider in the top lane, and they might be able to stun him. Deforestation by Smash. Who cares about the environment? Smash is being China right now. There is the Primal Roar. Trying to kill Dota 2. They finally skim in his ear. They also silence him up, and that's a dead Bat Rider early on. He couldn't really TP in time because, of course, the Smash just killed him. And Storm Spirit getting another Bloodstone charge. Of course, they're really... Thank you, Chinese caster, for pointing out that they really want to put up those charges for Storm. He got it a bit later than usual, so they want to try to get those charges up as soon as possible, and even died as soon as he got it. So, actually quite a clever idea. They're centering a lot around the Storm as being your main carry so much in the mid game. I mean, Lyca is really a buffer not in the usual, like literally someone that buffs, right? And the Beastmaster is more playing as a almost core rather than this Lycan. We'll see though. Ball lining and the bottom lane. Actually, here comes the Beastmaster TPing to the board. They want to find KVH. They can't get the Primal Roar in time. Impale though will find him, and that's a dead Drow Ranger unable to complete her TP. That's 2 dead actually, meaning that we'll be losing a lot because they have no way to defend this honestly without the Drow Ranger. Even the Storm thought he could find maybe a... I think he saw the Trim Protector there. Regardless, they're going to take a tower, and with this army of creeps, how are you supposed to defend against this? You really don't have much area damage. There's the Dragon Knight bringing out. Breathe Fire also available. Don't want to sacrifice your army of creeps to the enemy team, waiting for your own creeps to come in. And deciding that it's best not to sacrifice anything, because they don't have the initiation. They forced the buyback of the Drow Ranger anyway, which might have not even been entirely necessary, and as a result, they were unable to push the towers. Honestly, Thunder, for what I'm usually used to in South American Dota, is playing this late game quite wisely. Not playing too aggressively, you know, knowing when to put the aggression up and when to not, and when to back out, which is very important. And Wheel against the ropes, because they're experiencing true aggression from the South American Dota, but at the same time, they're experiencing this wise leadership of someone like a Stock, who's teaching them how to, well... And it's either Stock or Mystico, whichever one of the two is being the captain for this team. Probably Mystico, actually. And they're experiencing the wise leadership of these heroes, of these captains. Which is telling them, please don't feed. Even if Mystico does that himself. Alright, Wolf's giving a bit of vision. I think Dota 2 should have noticed this, so you don't really want to fight too closely. That's Dota 2. Okay, does the Stoke want to go for the stun? Alright, that's a bit weird and pale. A really long stun. Ball lining. Nope, they're going to commit to the skill, and they will get it. Silenced up, Orchid just to finish him off, but here comes the Drow Ranger, hitting pretty hard, silencing the Storm. He has no way to dispel that, and there's the root. And this poor Storm is going to be stuck for far too long, now going to the Drow Ranger. She's been stunned out, they time-lapse her to safety, but they still want to continue fighting against her. KVH, everyone is trying to help his poor Drow Ranger up, and an Impale stops all the supporting cast. It's time to go onto Madmang and onto the Trim Protector instead. Madmang will lose his life, the Drow Ranger will at least survive. And that time-lapse was used very efficiently. There's a second one to be used on him to himself. Uses it, and Mad Mang just tricked a whole team. It's like, yo, I got an Aghanims. Learn it, bitches. And with that, he's able to escape. Secure death by Thunder Awaken, who also left her Drow Ranger alone, which was a weird play. Probably thinking they couldn't kill her, so they just went for the safe kills. But of course, with the Bloodstone around, you didn't get the Bloodstone charges from those, so they weren't as valuable as one would think. Now they're going to go for this Roshan, taking away its armor and hitting it pretty hard. The Howl helps a lot. And of course you have the Inner Beast Aura. It's just taking objectives is so easy with this kind of lineup. And we are going to see a Lincolns eventually on the Storm. Thank you. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but wise choice. Anyway, Bat Rider, Lasso. No, they're going to go for the Trim Protector in the backlines. And however, in the middle of the lane, Leo style fighting against 4. He got a really good Electric Vortex, and they want to fight for more. There's an Assassin already dead. Annihilate wasted his BKB. Is there some way of punishing him? I mean, they have Necronomicon in 4 seconds. Shapeshift in just 1. It might be the time to go on to Annihilate. And here you go. Leo Style goes in. Down to the 2, the objective. But he's stunned down for too long. Has the cheese. Eats it immediately. And silenced out the dragon so he can't use any spells. They say, shut up, dragon, as they murder him. And well, door to the 2, the next objective, Electric Vortex to find him out. They pull him back and they destroy him. Now in comes Derp with the Overgrowth. Stops everyone from attacking, but Derp doesn't really care because he's going to lose his life anyway there. There's Madming. Oh, GG, well played, actually called by Derp. They don't even want to continue this. Then the Economicon build won't be finished up. Thunder Awaken will be taking game number 2, and that's a best of 3. That's going to go to a 3rd game in favor of Thunder Awaken. Well, in favor of Thunder Awaken as they won the 2nd game. Wheel and Thunder Awaken both tied up, going to game number 3 for this amazing matchup. Whoever wins this last game is going to be able to go to the finals of the ProDota Cup, and whoever loses it will go down to the losers brackets. Let's see what happens. Everything is on the line, and we'll come back very short with the last game. Of course, we have been here sponsored by XBet. Hope you've enjoyed the game of the ProDota Cup American Tournament. It wouldn't be possible without them, and of course, it wouldn't be possible without me either. Noted. Anyway, I've been your caster. My name's been DSwordfish. Hope you've enjoyed the cast. If you didn't, feel free to flame me on Twitter, and if you did, feel free to follow me on Twitter. It's always a pleasure to get new followers there, as we always tweet whenever we are up on the ProDota Cup or whatever other projects I'm working on. That said, guys, we will be back with game number 3 between Thunder Awaken and Wheel. Enjoy some tunes while we wait. See you guys then.